Hey, this is Matt once again with about to another video, and this is a paid request for Bobby. Bobby has always been very kind, very generous, especially on the stream, so if you're watching, thank you so much, Bobby. Hope you're doing well. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, topic, tier list, ranking, movie review, re-review, thought streams, commentaries, reactions, video game playthroughs, whatever the case may be, PayPal is the best way to do it. Do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I'll get to as soon as I possibly can. So thank you for that. And as you can tell from the title, we are talking about Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie that came out in 2022. Now bear with me, it might be a bit of a rambling preamble, so I apologize in advance. Let's start with this. If you watch the channel, you already know this, but in case people who don't know, I'm a Ninja Turtles fan. I grew up with the 80s to 90s cartoon. By the time I'm 7 years old is 1990. That first live action movie comes out, and I love it. And I love the second film. Yeah, it's silly, it's goofier, but I still enjoy it. Third one, not so much. Then as time went on, and I'm about, let's say, 20 years old. It's 2003. By that point, the Turtles are kind of dead in the water in the mainstream. Then the 2003 cartoon comes out. And I love it. Again, this is coming from a guy that likes the 80s to 90s cartoon, and I grew with it. I should be much more nostalgic, but the 2003 cartoon not only became my favorite Ninja Turtles cartoon to this day, but my favorite cartoon of all time. I read some of the comics. I like some of the comics. The 2012 cartoon, the first season and bits of two, I could deal with and don't mind certain things I do mind. It's okay, but after that, I thought it went fairly downhill. And there's a lot of aspects I don't like about that show. And particularly when they got to that farmhouse, and that's when things really started to change for me. And that's a whole other thing. Just be too long of a video if I go into that. The CGI 2007 movie, there's stuff I like about it, there's stuff I don't. I go 50-50 on it. Some days I'm ranting on it, some days I'm like, there's stuff I like and it's okay. I go 50-50 schizophrenic on that movie. There's stuff I liked, Raph and Leo's fight, the whole Night Watch angle, but then I think the villains suck. Donnie and Mikey really have nothing to do. Leo's a hypocritical dickhead. Among other stuff. Because he did the same thing that Raphael did, only he did in the jungle and Raph did in the city, but Raph's the bad guy and Leo's a whatever. And never apologized for it. He's a dickhead. Anyway. The Michael Bay produced films 2014-2016 I hate. Hate both of them. The Mutant Mayhem movie, to me even a worse piece of shit. I despise that fucking film. Just the Turtles themselves are annoying as shit. I want to kill them with a ray gun. I want to kick them through a field goal while it's on fire. And then they're on fire. I hate all four. Well, Leo's okay. The other three are shitheads. Annoying shitheads. Raph sounds like Nelson from The Simpsons. Donnie stick his glasses up his fucking ass. Sounds like he's 8 years old and he's just got out of diapers. That's the whole other thing. April puking up a storm. Splinters going out with cockroaches. Fucking... They're talking about, hey, why don't you stick your head up Splinter's ass and you'll smell Doritos or Cheetos or burritos or whatever the fuck it is. Hate that movie. And I did see a long time ago the first 2 or 3 episodes of this show, Rise of the TMNT. I went, yeah, I'm good. Because the designs I thought looked really awful. I still think the Turtles look kind of ugly in this version. I do. I'm not big on the aesthetic. I could deal with their look, even in the 2012 cartoon. I could deal with their look. I don't mind, okay, one's got a gap tooth, one's got a chip in their shell. Okay, here, it just looks a bit too off. Just too off to me. Why is Raph... I get it, there's supposed to be different types of turtles. But I'm like, I get it, something different, just not my cup of tea. Not my preference, if that makes sense. And I'm like, why does Splinter look like a fat guinea pig that got fucked up in some acid or whatever? April O'Neil, no, I don't need. I'm saucy. I'm like, what are you, Leslie Jones? I didn't give a fuck about April. I thought she was annoying. You go girlfriend. Whatever the fuck. And like the villains, I'm like, what the fuck? Hippopotamus, like what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Like, Mystic powers, like, okay, do they need superpowers? They're turtles. They're ninjas. Like, do they need fucking superpowers? They're fucking ninjas. Let them do ninja things. Ninja is all you need. You don't need super. You didn't need to be super strong and bulletproof shells like in the 2014 movie. Raph lifting shit like he's the Incredible Hulk. And you don't need superpowers. Like the Ninja Turtles are ninjas. Like that's all they need to be. That's good enough. It's like Spider-Man doesn't need an Iron Man suit. He's fucking Spider-Man. Yes, I know I'm limiting, and I did. You do different things. I get it, but it's not gonna be my preference. It's not gonna be my favorite version. And the voices, I'm not. It's just the personalities. Leo, it's Ben Schwartz who does Sonic the Hedgehog. And he kind of just sounds like Sonic the Hedgehog. With the way he acts, his attitude. The guy who plays Raphael, Omar Miller, I remember him from CSI Miami. I don't know about his voice. I just remember the first couple. I'm just talking about the first couple episodes I saw, the first 2 or 3. I'm not at the movie yet. Spoiler warning. Believe it or not, this is not a rant. Believe it or not, spoiler warning. But Omar Miller, Raphael just seemed like a dunce, like a goofball dumbass. Brandon Michael Smith as Michelangelo. I don't know about his voice. I don't know. I don't know if it fit. Josh Brenner's Donatello. Like, the way Donatello acts, I guess he's supposed to be, like, socially awkward. I don't know if he's supposed to be autistic or something. But also, he seems like someone that would be in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Just kind of a dickhead, too. And then it's like a point, like, everybody's like the funny one. That's what we see like afterwards. Everyone's the funny one. Are you the funny one? You're the one. Like, everyone's the funny one. And then some of the designs remind me of something like Ren and Stimpy. With some of the villain designs and stuff. So I'm like, well, why is everyone like the funny one? And you may call them one-dimensional, but you do take those one-dimensional traits and create something like Donatello is this, and Leo is this, and you work around it. But they just didn't seem like their characters. Like, why is this guy called Leo? He doesn't act or seem like Leo at all. Same with Raph. It gets to a point where, why don't you just call him Donald and Dave and Sam and Smith? It's like, do you want to see a Wolverine acting like Spider-Man? You know, like the one-liners and stuff. Do you want to see Captain America act like Wolverine? Maybe some would. You do want to see Batman act like Superman, and do you want to see Superman act like Batman? Maybe for a one-off, I guess maybe. Okay, let me put it this way: do you want to see Batman act like the Flash, and do you want to see Superman act like Deadpool? I do differently. That's what I'm saying. Like, how much do you change them before you go? It's not really the character anymore, is it? It's not really the character anymore. And that's what I mean. Like, people say you're not supposed to get mad at that. Again, what if Wolverine and Spider-Man, you switch their personalities? People would fucking say something about it. That's what I mean. That's what bothered me. It's like, you're breaking stuff that's not broken? I mean, well, they're breaking shit, but you're fixing stuff that's not broken. That's the phrase. All that ramble for 10 minutes was me going on about why I saw the first 3 episodes and I kind of just said, nah, didn't watch the show. I don't even remember those episodes to be with detail. And I know it didn't last that long. It only lasted, what, was it 2 seasons? Although I know it has a cult following. Like, there's a lot of people who really like that show. Like, fight and die for that show. Fans. Maybe because it's so different and all that stuff. Okay, but now with this movie, I will be honest, I did not hate it. I didn't hate it. Maybe because the sense of humor, like, it's there, but it's calmed down a bit. Because it did take itself a bit more seriously, which I appreciated. Raphael, the little bit that he's in it, he's not in it a whole lot. That's one of my complaints about it. But he's not as much of a dummy. Leo, like, he's acting cocky, but there's a reason, because there's an arc where he gets more serious. And, like, I was surprised. There's actually some serious moments. There's some heartfelt moments. The stakes are raised. There's actual danger. There's, in a way, death of characters. In a way, I appreciated that. I did appreciate that. You get a sense of the brothers, their love for each other at times. There are moments where they work together as a team, and if you're a fan, okay, we're pumping up for it. The animation, did you tell that for a movie they try to up the animation? And I could see that. And I would say, like, as a movie, I thought this was better than Mutant Mayhem. As a movie, I thought this was much better than Mutant Mayhem. Much better. Now, I still have issues with it. There's still stuff I don't like about it. But I would say overall, I did like it. I did like the movie. Which I'm surprised to say. Again, it's not my cup of tea in terms of what I want out of a Ninja Turtles movie. But for them doing something different, I thought, okay, I could see that for a good chunk of it, the heart was in the right place. I could see some of the care for the characters that they're doing. That's it. I was just, to have some of the serious moments, heartfelt moments, I could appreciate. And that sometimes a little goes a long way for me. Now, I'm not going to get into spoilers to properly explain. From the very beginning, it's the future, it's 2044, there's a resistance, it's only Leo, Mighty, and Casey Jones. A much older Leo, much older Mighty. Leo has this weird thing with one of his arms. Mighty has like hair on the back, and he's more like a mystic. And Leo is hurt, and you see a little bit of blood there, which I was surprised by. They say the resistance failed, but we'll do a time warp to the Rocky Horror Picture Show theme. And Mighty is able to create it, but by doing so, he disintegrates. He knows he's going to do it. It's a nice bit where he turns and he winks at the other two. And he's able to create it, but he disintegrates. And I know I'm repeating that because I'm like, holy shit, I didn't expect that to happen within the first 5 minutes of this movie. But okay, that shows the seriousness of the situation. That shows that, at least at parts, is going to take itself in a tone that's not always consistent, to be fair, but creates a strong start. Leo tells Casey Jones, go back in time and do this, and that. While Casey's doing that, Leo is doing what he can, and you get the idea he gets disintegrated as well. Almost remind me of X-Men Days of Future Past. A little bit. And because the rays remind me like Sentinels. Now, I did not realize this. Casey Jones is voiced by Haley Joel Osment. I did not recognize his voice. That's why I looked like, really? That's why I have this phone out. Yeah, Haley Joel Osment voices Casey Jones. And I'm like, okay. I didn't realize that, but okay. I mean, if you say so, phone. There you go. I mean, Haley Joel Osment from The Sixth Sense. Forrest Gump's son from Forrest Gump. So yeah, Haley Joel Osment. So he goes back in time, and we see the turtles of that time, and they're doing some gag where they're balancing pizza boxes on their head and trying to break a record of how many they can balance and all this stuff. I guess by this point in the show, they had defeated the Shredder. Raph is mad at Leo for not taking things seriously. So it's a bit weird to see that whole thing reversed, because usually it's the other way around. Raph being the responsible one. I mean, granted, he's not being a fucking dumbass prick in this movie, at least. But at least that's something. But yeah, that's one of those things where it's still... That's not the Raphael I grew up with. Well, I mean, I guess that's not really fair, because the 80s cartoon Raphael is very different as well. So, I mean, I know how could I like that one, but then I get it. One is like much more nostalgic, and that plays a part of it. But at least, as long as he's not being such a dumbass like he was in the bits I remember from the show, okay. At least there's a certain level of respect. I could deal with it. Then Leo acting, I mean, it's Ben Schwartz. I think when I first saw it, none of the Sonic films had come out. Now that I'm much more knowledgeable of Ben Schwartz, I just hear Sonic when I hear his voice. I think he's a good voice actor. I like the Sonic trilogy. So I think he does a good job, but he is just playing Sonic. Which is not fair to say, because he played this before Sonic, so... I guess that's not really a fair thing to I think, because I think this started before. What did it? God, I don't even... Man. Yeah, I think so. Whatever. Anyway, there's these bad guys that I go after. There's something about this one guy, Warren Stone. He looks like something out of Ren and Stimpy, his design. Mighty, they're showing their powers, their mystic powers, which I guess is very prevalent on the show. Not my preference for Ninja Turtles. I prefer actual ninja martial arts action, because that's the whole point of ninja in the first place. But will I say, with the way it's animated, do they make the powers at least look cool? At least they do that. At least it's as aesthetically cool looking. Mighty cutting a van in half. Raphael having this thing where he could trace these hologram fists and slams down and breaks the van. Okay, it does look cool. Raph is going to get this key, but Leo's the one who screws up. So I actually don't mind that. It's actually... I'm so used to, oh, Raph's the one who screwed up. Raph's the one who screwed everything up. Raph's fault. It's Raph's fault. No, this time it's Leo's fault. So I actually appreciate that change. So maybe that's why it didn't make me as mad as other stuff. In fact, Leo, who has these swords that could portal, he actually cuts the... Not his actual hand off, but the projection's hand off. Because he's egotistical, he thinks he's the best, and I could do it. But then the Foot Clan, they're there as well, they did this thing, which is a T. Now, the rest, I mean, the plot itself, I mean, it's... The big bad needs the key, light goes to the sky, They go to our world. You've seen that done in a lot of other movies, a lot of other stuff. So it's not the most original bit. Alien invasion. I mean, it's not the exact same, but it's kind of what they were doing in the 2016 Michael Bay produced Out of the Shadows movie. Because that was Crane. Here's the aliens, the Crane. To bring the Technodrome in, and so forth. They find Casey Jones, or Casey Jones finds April O'Neil, and April beats him up pretty quickly. So she basically wonder how much he was fucking trained. He tells the story. They don't believe him, but then quickly they do. I still can't get over how Splinter looks like a fat fucking doused out pig. It's the worst design I've ever seen for Splinter. The worst fucking design. I remember on the show, like in the little clips, he was like much more goofier and silly and stupid. Maybe because there was no room for that, so people for the most part had to take themselves a bit more serious. So I mean that's why, is that you saw a bit less of the comedy aspect of it. There's still a little bit of there, which I wouldn't say I found much funny. It was the bits where the bits I enjoy more was like Raph taught him to Leo about, being responsible. I'm the oldest, so I'm responsible for all you guys. Because if I don't, you guys could be dead. And Leo's like, oh, don't worry about it. You worry about too much. And at least Raph, I wouldn't call him useless in this movie. He's not in it a lot. I'll get to that. But is it like they're all in despair what to do because the Foot already has the key that apparently will lead to this bad future. But Raph rallies the troops and goes, let's go get it. They go there. They get defeated. They gotta escape. Leo is arrogant, goes and gets the key. He's ready to be attacked, but then Raph steps in. I thought this was done in a very nice, dramatic way visually, where it freezes and the colors change, and you see like a splash of blood, but they do it in a way to help them in the ratings, and in terms of not getting people pissed off. But you get the idea. And you see like bits of the shell crumbling, and you see that Raph took the hit. Puts this thing on Leo. Leo's like, no, begging, please don't do this. He just jettisoned out. I thought, okay, this is a good scene. This is a good scene, a dramatic scene. You could hear Leo's fear and worry in his voice. Raph does a heroic moment. Not useless. He helps Leo and the key get to safety. He accomplished more in this than I've seen him done in a long fucking time, just from this one move. He felt more useful here than most of the 2012 cartoon. So I give credit to that. But then he's taken captive and he's gone for until the third act of the movie. And that's really like the big middle section, he's not in the movie. So again, being a Raphael fan, it kind of sucks that it's maybe not right to say barely in the movie, but he's not in the movie a ton. Some would say he's in enough, but to me it's like, I don't agree. By this point, their mystic powers are gone. I do like Leo's seriousness, his resolve. He just pissed at Casey. You knew about this, right? I bet you knew about this. I could feel Mikey's worry for Raph at times throughout the movie. Leo's angry, determination, and seriousness. No matter what, we must get Raph back. I did like that change in his tone. It wasn't them just goofing off every 5 seconds, even though their bro's in danger. When the humor's there, like it worked fine. It wasn't too out of the blue. Granted, I didn't give a shit about April and Splinter, so when they split up where April and Splinter has the key and they're trying to find a way to destroy it, the lair gets found and they gotta escape on a motorcycle. I didn't give a shit about any of that. That whole part I could just fast forward. I didn't. Just my first time watching it, it's a paid request. But I didn't give a shit about them. I don't give a fuck about Guinea Pig Splinter. He looks like someone that should be put down. He looks like someone that got, a half breed with something in the toilet. I don't fucking know. Fuck that little fat fuck. And April O'Neil was annoying. Didn't care for her voice acting. Didn't give a shit about that take on the character. I just found her annoying. Let's see, what else was I going to say? God, I fucking forgot. Oh, April and Splinter, yeah, that's right. Leo, Casey, and Casey Jones, I mean, he's there. I mean, he doesn't. He really doesn't have much of a personality. It's just in the future, his sensei was Leo, and he's kind of just at one point yells at Leo, "You should listen to your teammates more. I'm here looking for a master, but now we have this guy." Casey. He's just kind of there. Like I said, I didn't really find much personality. I don't think it's Haley Joel Osment's fault. It's just the way the character's written is just kind of whatever. I don't see anyone look at this Casey go, "That's my favorite Casey." I'd be like, why? I don't know, just like Casey Jones from the 1990 movie, Elias Koteas has personality. Even the 2003 cartoon. Here's like whatever. I don't mind them changing. Okay, he's in the future, and I guess in the show there's someone named Cassandra Jones, a female, who we found out is actually will be the mother to Casey Jones. It's like, okay, whatever. So I didn't really give a shit about Casey either. But the other turtles, in this movie, I could deal with. And some moments of humor I didn't mind. Donnie mentioned he's got a tractor on Raph, and in the middle of it, Leo goes, "Wait, hold it. Does that mean you put tractors on all of us?" No? No, of course I did. Int. But I thought, the voice acting wasn't too bad on those scenes. They get split up. They get back together. They find their way into where they need to go. They have the key. They see Raph. They cut him down, but you find out he's been possessed. And these tendrils come out of like his eye and his arm. He's controlled by the bad guys. And I mean, it's not the first time they've done that. The 2012 cartoon, there was a bit where Raph gets controlled by like this brain worm. I would say with this, the way they handled at the end, at least was a lot better. In the 2012 cartoon, it was pretty much saying how, like, trying to get him pissed by saying how much he sucks or something. Something like, I can't remember. Here, at least there's a bit more emotion and importance to it. But yeah, Raph beats them all up, takes the key. They escape. They don't know what to do. I like the more Mighty is tearing up and going. Leo's like, "Listen, it's not all about me. It's about us as a team. What ideas do you have?" Okay, we're going to have. I do like this was a good scene. Leo rallying the troops just like Raph did near the beginning of the film, and then we're going to do this, this, and this. And I do like Mighty's moment where he's tearing up and going, but what about Raph? You see that he's almost crying, he's sad. Wow. Actually, let me see that they care for each other. I know it seems like a lot to fucking ask, but it seems like that's not the case for a lot of these recent fucking versions of the Turtles. At least to this extent. And Mighty, I think, makes sense as being the one that would almost tear up. Mighty, I always think, is more innocent one. Leo says, we're going to get him back. They go in. April, Casey, and Splinter are over here. Leo, Mighty, and Donnie go over there. Leo goes, I'm going to go after Raph. You guys try to get control of the spaceship. Kind of a funny moment where Mighty and Donnie have this little battle. How do I control this ship? Oh, I gotta do this and that. Just Donnie's a very cleanly guy. He's got to take. He's a type of turtle. He needs a battle shell because he's a soft shell, so it goes into him, and then I guess it connects to the ship. So Leo goes, "I'm a spaceship." I don't know why. Something about that made me laugh. That delivery. I thought that was kind of cute. Not cute, but I thought something about that was funny. Tickled me. Best way to put it. And then Raph is fighting Leo, and Raph is getting the upper hand. By this point, Donnie and Mighty have been caught, and Leo's trying to talk to Raph. And in a way, this still makes Raph a certain level of importance. Because Raph's the one who listens, fights it off, overcomes, and Leo even goes, if Raph can do it, then we can do it. And then they all kind of have a bond, and they get their powers back, and they're helping each other to fight the head crane. Raph saves Mighty and Donnie so that they don't get crushed over here. Leo, doing the responsible thing, fucks up the bad guy. Nice emotional moment that you feel like he's making a sacrifice. He has this picture of his family. You see like a tear going down. That's what I mean. Like there's stuff in here that at least I see that they're trying. At least they're trying to tell a story with some nice emotion, with some nice heart, with some nice seriousness. Do I love everything about it? Like I said, no. I wish Raph was in the story more, but I get why, for what story they wanted to tell. I'll be honest, I'm being greedy. I kind of wish the roles were reversed, that it was Raph doing all this. But again, I'm a Raphael fan, that's why. If you're a fan of certain turtle, you want him to be the star. I get that. You know, just how it is. But I'm not going to duck the movie a point because of that. I thought the way Ben Schwartz played it off voice wise was rather good. The way the voice actor Mikey played it off, where he's crying, he's like, no, this guy said in the future I could do this, I know I can do this. Raph and Donnie help out, they open up the portal, they grab Leo, everything's fine. I do wish there was a longer scene between Raph and Leo. Well, two things. One, I wish this guy, Raph, had a fucking tentacle come out of his eyeball and out of his arm. I think there'd be some issues with that. Like, it should be, he has one, like, if this is the last film you're doing, you might as well just have him have one arm and one eye. And, like, they're worried about him, but he's like, hey, it's okay, you know, it worked out. And maybe Donnie is going to make some stuff to fix him up or whatever. Considering Raph was kidnapped for a long time, it would have been nice to see the other three hug and say, hey, we miss you, Raph. I get it, they couldn't do it at the time because they're ready to die, but afterward, they hugged Leo because he was about ready to die at that point, so I get that, but they should also, I don't know, it should have had Mighty also hug Raph. What's that for? And then Mighty say some stuff. Like, there's other stuff I would have added there. Leo and Raph have a moment, but I think they could have done a bit more with that, a bit longer with that. So, but what I'm saying is, is little things here and there. But overall, as a film, I thought it wasn't that bad. I actually thought it was one of the better Ninja Turtle films. I liked it better than Michael Bay produced 2014 film, the 2016 film, and Mutant Mayhem. And honestly, I'd probably say I liked it more than Ninja Turtles 3. Because I never liked that one. Because this one I thought had a bit more emotion, a bit more heart, a bit more stakes. And that goes to show you that even though I may not be big on the designs of the characters and on that, if your heart's in the right place with the story, that's important. Again, it doesn't dot the I's and cross the T's of all I wanted out of the story. Again, Raph I wish was in it more. Had again, selfishly I wish the roles were reversed, but I did it. Although it was a bit weird, like Raph's the leader. They should have kept that. If you don't make him the leader, just keep him the fucking leader. Stick with it. Don't. Because another thing they did on the show is all of a sudden Splinter's like, you're not a leader anymore. Leo, now you're a leader. I don't like that. I don't get why the fuck they did that. You make Raph the leader in the first place, then you demote him for no goddamn reason. That was fucking stupid. I don't like that shit. If Raph was the leader and went through all the stuff Leo did, then at least, although this is not the Raph my preference is the 1990, the 2003 cartoon. That's more the Raph I like. At least maybe be like a consolation prize. I don't know. But yeah. On the flip side, I do think Ben Schwartz did a good job voicing in the serious moments in particular. But I mean, I'm rambling. At the end of the day, while there's stuff I didn't like, there's stuff I have issues with. It's her what's in the right place, and I do appreciate that. And I'm like, why wasn't the show more like this tone? But whatever. Just save it for the movie, and then hell, I think this movie should have been in theaters. That'd be mayhem. But anyway. So yeah, I'm not going to say I love it, but I liked it. I liked it. So that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.